another episode of the Top of Off Cricket Podcast. I am your host, Kevin Henry, and as usual, we are talking everything West Indies cricket. Now, West Indies wrapped up their three-match series against South Africa today in preparation for the T20 World Cup, which begins next weekend. And it was a good performance over the three matches. Well packaged. I would think that Darren Sammy and the coaching staff and the players would be happy with what they've accomplished over these three matches across the three phases for both batting and bowling and fielding, right? As is normal, there's always a few things that you can work on. But I would say it was a really good performance. You know, there was a nice package of performances over the three matches. Things that I said in a couple of videos ago, that what I would like to see, it happened. If they didn't do it in one match, they came back to the following game and did it. You know, I wanted to see how they would go when batting in the power play. I wanted to see how they would handle the middle overs. I wanted to see how they would finish at the death. Excuse me. And in all three games, they kind of rectified some things that they needed to do. Same thing with the bowling. How would they go in the power play? How would they go in the middle overs? How would they go at the death? And they did what they needed to do. That was the most important thing. I want to take some time to shout out a few players. Great leadership by Brandon King at the top of the order, setting the tone. Even though I think in the first game, it was his place to bat through until the last ball was bowled. Not only would he have gotten a century, but we would have gotten someone there to finish the way we needed to. We came back in the second game. Someone put their hands up and took responsibility for that. That person was Roston Chase. And I personally believe instead of batting him at 4, he should be batting at 3. That is my belief. Roston Chase should be batting at number 3 for the West Indies in this format, because it gives him time to do just what he did yesterday. Build the momentum, and then finish strong at the back. I have seen Roston Chase play before. I've seen him done this before for the St. Lucia Kings. I've seen him done this. Right? So it didn't surprise me with what he did yesterday. It wasn't a surprise at all, because I've seen him do this before. Romario Shepherd, in the first game, Andre Fletcher and Fabian Allen couldn't finish the job in the death overs because they gave their wickets away. Romario Shepherd came and showed how you do it. And that is what we will need once the World Cup starts in a few days. Gudakesh Moti, phenomenal. A phenomenal 3-match series of Gudakesh Moti. We saw, bits and pieces of what Shamar Joseph is capable of. Did I like the whole package of what I saw from him? No. But I think, him being a new player to international cricket, new player to T20 cricket, we have to take what we're getting from him right now. And the only place he can learn is by being on the field, doing what he loves. That's the only place he can learn. And we have to give him time. Obed McCoy, seems like he's getting back to the Obed McCoy of a few years ago. The ball seems to be coming out good again. Akil Hussain, I think the lack of activity over the last couple of months has hampered him a bit. Hopefully, once the World Cup comes around, he does what he needs to do. Does Akil Hussain things, show us why he's one of the top bowlers in the world currently, top ranked bowlers in the world currently in this format of the game. We saw Kyle Mayers showing us that even though he did not play not one single game for the Lucknow Super Giants, and it's a mystery to me why he didn't play. The management and staff over there, ooh, well, you can see why they didn't make it to the playoffs. But he got that rust off real quickly. Over the 3 matches, he played really well. He's in the West Indies reserves. Some might argue Kyle Mayers need to be in the West Indies squad. That's a topic for another day, right? But with all that being said, what does this 3-match victory for the West Indies mean in the grand scheme of things? I'll tell you what it means to me. Absolutely nothing. It was a good performance over the 4 days. That's all it means to me. It was a good performance over the 4 days. And I'll tell you why. Because historically, recent history, let me put it this way, recent history has taught us that West Indies do not fare well once it comes to a tournament format. And since 2016, we have found ways to lose to teams that doesn't have the pedigree like we do. Somehow we find ways to lose to teams like Scotland, Ireland, Afghanistan, Zimbabwe, the Netherlands. And I'm talking about tournaments in terms of 50 over World Cup qualifiers, 50 over World Cup qualifiers, T20 World Cup, T20 play-in tournament. I'm talking about all of that. Our recent history have told us that we do not fare well once it comes to a tournament format. And these guys have got to figure it out. This group of players can't seem to figure that out. Here's a perfect opportunity. Come the 2nd of June against Papua New Guinea at Providence. Here's a chance to prove that we are no longer losing to the minnows. Because you cannot take these teams for granted. For some reason, when smaller teams come up against the West Indies, they find a different kind of motivation. Their level of intent goes up a few notches. And our level of intent goes down. Our level of motivation goes down. And we've got to figure that out. Because here's the thing about this T20 World Cup that's coming up. We have to win all 4 matches in order to proceed to the next round. We have to. We cannot sit and depend on anyone else to do what they need to do or don't do what they need to do in order for us to progress. If we are going to make a deep run or even win this tournament like Darren Sammy and Desmond Haynes are saying, we have to take care of business. We have to take care of business in every match, in every facet of the game. Batting, bowling, fielding. We have got to take care of it on across phases. Power play, middle overs, at the death. We have got to take care of business. And that is going to be tough. But if they're going to win the tournament like they said, like we said we were going to do, there's no margin for error. Our margin for error is so slim. So, great performance over the 3 matches. Great performance in the moment. They have to put that behind them. Tournament hats come on. Tournament mindset comes on. Right now. Matter of fact, right now they have to switch on the tournament mindset. But I'm Kevin Henry for the Top of Off Cricket Podcast. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Let me know how you felt that some of our players went. Let me know about the performance over the 3 games. See you next time.